There's something almost poetic about the quiet of early morning, isn't there? That stillness when the world hasn't quite woken up, when the air feels softer, the light gentler. But for many people over 65, those moments don't feel peaceful anymore, they feel heavy. The body feels stiff before the day has even begun. Knees whisper their complaints, the back tightens, fingers resist movement. What used to be a simple stretch out of bed now feels like the body negotiating with itself. And as you sit on the edge of the bed, sometimes you can't help but notice how different mornings feel now compared to years ago. There's a quiet longing inside, not just to wake up, but to feel awake. To feel that spark of life that used to be effortless, that energy that once made mornings exciting, not exhausting. It's not about chasing youth. It's about wanting to feel present and capable, not trapped in a body that feels slower each year. The truth is, many seniors don't talk about this, the loneliness of slow mornings, the subtle frustration when your reflection looks tired before the day has even started. You might sip your morning tea and think, this is just what getting older feels like. But deep down there's a small voice that refuses to believe it. Because somewhere inside, you know your body isn't done yet. You know there must be something simple, something real, that can help you wake up feeling alive again. And that's where this idea of a simple morning trick becomes more than curiosity. It becomes hope. Imagine if the first few minutes after opening your eyes weren't filled with stiffness, but with movement, warmth, and renewal. Imagine if your body didn't need an hour to feel human again, but just a few moments of care to signal, I'm ready. What if the way you greet the morning could set the tone for the rest of your day, not just physically, but emotionally? Because mornings are powerful, they whisper to your body how the rest of the day will go. And maybe, just maybe, those first quiet minutes hold a secret your body has been waiting to remember, that life, even after 65, can begin again each morning. It's a strange feeling when you start to notice that your mornings don't feel like beginnings anymore. They feel like continuations of yesterday's fatigue. The eyes open, but the energy doesn't follow. You move through the same slow rhythm. Sit up, reach for your slippers, maybe sigh before standing. Somewhere deep inside, there's a quiet question that lingers. Is this how it's going to be from now on? That uncertainty is what makes this simple morning trick so intriguing, because it carries a whisper of possibility, a promise that something small might still shift the way your days unfold. You see, after 65, it's not the big things that people wish for most, not mountains to climb or marathons to run, but the ability to start the day without pain, to feel steady when walking to the kitchen, to have enough spark left to do what brings joy. Yet with every passing year, it's easy to believe that feeling strong and vibrant again requires complicated routines or expensive supplements, when in reality, nature and time have already built the answer into your mornings. That's the promise of discovery that draws you in, the idea that hidden in plain sight, right in those first quiet minutes after waking, there's a habit so simple it almost feels like magic. It's not about adding years just for the sake of longevity. It's about adding good years, years where you still feel like yourself. That's the real secret this video wants to uncover. Not another health trend or miracle claim, but a small act that brings you back into connection with your body. Think of it like unlocking a forgotten rhythm, one your body once knew by heart. This is where curiosity takes over, not the kind that rushes for answers, but the kind that makes you lean in and wonder, what if this really works? What if the key to feeling alive isn't somewhere far away, but right here, waiting every morning? It's in that moment between doubt and hope that transformation begins. Because when you realize that one simple habit might reignite that quiet spark inside, you stop seeing mornings as something to endure and start seeing them as something to rediscover. So what exactly is this simple morning trick that holds the power to make such a difference? It's not a secret supplement, not a new kind of diet, and certainly not a complicated fitness routine. It's something so gentle, so ordinary that it's easy to overlook, yet when done with intention, it can awaken every cell in your body. It begins with water, that first glass you drink after waking. Most people underestimate what that simple act does inside the body, especially as we age. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your cells are quietly dehydrated, your organs are waiting for movement, and your brain is craving oxygen and flow. The moment that cool water touches your lips, it signals your system that a new day has begun. It washes away the heaviness of the night, reawakens digestion, and starts flushing out the toxins your body worked to clear while you rested. Pair that with 2 or 3 minutes of deep, deliberate breathing, slow inhales through the nose, soft exhales through the mouth, and you're doing something remarkable. You're telling your body, "Wake up, I'm still here and I'm ready to live." Add a few gentle stretches or movements, maybe rolling your shoulders, lifting your arms toward the ceiling, or just rotating your ankles, and suddenly, the stiffness that once defined your mornings begins to loosen. Blood begins to circulate, oxygen finds its way to sleepy muscles, and your heart quietly thanks you. It's not about exercise, it's about connection, the simple act of meeting your body halfway. You might notice that even your mood begins to shift. The fog lifts a little faster, the morning feels lighter, and you begin to realize how powerful small habits can be. Because what this morning trick really does is wake up the chemistry of life itself. Hydration, oxygen, and gentle motion. These three small forces together create a cascade that your cells interpret as vitality. It's nature's way of saying, keep going. No pills, no machines, no rules, just a few minutes of conscious care. And the beauty of it is, the older you are, the more your body appreciates this gift. It's like reminding your heart and mind that every new sunrise still belongs to you. What's truly fascinating is how something so simple can create such powerful changes inside the body. When you take that first sip of water in the morning, you're not just quenching thirst, you're jump-starting a symphony that your body has been waiting all night to hear. That water flows through your bloodstream, waking up your kidneys, your liver, even your brain. It clears away the leftover waste from the night and signals your metabolism to begin again. Pair that with deep, slow breathing and something even more profound happens. You start feeding your body the one thing it craves most: oxygen. Oxygen is life's quiet fuel, and yet most people breathe shallowly without realizing that each deep breath sends energy to every corner of the body. When you fill your lungs completely and exhale fully, you're not just breathing, you're refreshing every cell, every joint, every heartbeat. Science may call it increased circulation or reduced inflammation, but to you it simply feels like life returning. Your skin starts to feel warmer, your hands loosen, and the morning stiffness begins to fade. It's as if your body, once locked in stillness, starts remembering movement again. And beneath the science, there's something emotional happening too. You're reconnecting with your body's rhythm, listening to it instead of ignoring it. Because as we age, many of us start to live in our bodies but no longer with them. We go through the motions but forget the gentle partnership that once came naturally. This morning habit brings that connection back. It tells your body, I see you, I haven't forgotten how to care for you. And the body responds with gratitude in its own quiet way through steadier energy, calmer moods, and that subtle feeling of balance that's hard to describe but impossible to miss. The best part: it doesn't demand perfection or discipline, just consistency and presence. You don't need to understand every chemical reaction or memorize any health term. You just need to feel the difference it makes. Because behind all the science, hydration, oxygenation, circulation, lies something far more meaningful. The reminder that your body still listens to you, still responds to kindness, and still has the capacity to heal, renew, and thrive each new morning you give it the chance. Imagine this: the soft light of morning filters through the curtains, and instead of groaning as you rise, you take a slow, steady breath. Your body responds not with resistance but with ease. You stand, stretch your arms toward the ceiling, feel the pull of life in your muscles, and sip a glass of cool water that seems to wake something deep inside you. In that moment, you don't feel old, you feel alive. You can almost sense your heart thanking you, your mind clearing, your body whispering that it remembers how to move freely. Picture yourself walking to the kitchen without stiffness, maybe even humming a tune you haven't thought about in years. The air feels fresher, your thoughts lighter, your steps a little more sure. That's the beauty of this simple morning habit. It's not just about living longer, It's about feeling life return to every corner of your day. Visualize yourself sitting with your grandchildren, not watching from the sidelines but joining in their laughter, your mind sharp enough to remember the stories they love hearing. See yourself gardening again, or taking a short walk down the street, feeling the rhythm of your heartbeat steady and strong. These are not distant dreams. They're what your body is capable of when given just a little care each morning. And it's not only physical. There's a quiet emotional joy in realizing you have control again, that your mornings no longer belong to stiffness or fatigue, but to movement and calm energy. The world outside feels the same, but you feel different inside, clearer, lighter, more grounded. Even your confidence begins to shift, because when you start the day with intention, it changes everything that follows. You no longer feel like time is slipping away. Instead, you feel like you're shaping it, reclaiming each sunrise as a new chance to nurture yourself. This small act, breathing deeply, drinking water, moving gently, becomes more than routine. It becomes a ritual of gratitude, a way of telling your body that you're still here, still strong, still choosing to live fully. And with every passing day, you realize that maybe the secret to feeling young again isn't about turning back time, but about giving each new morning the chance to awaken your life all over again. The beauty of this simple morning trick is how seamlessly it fits into everyday life, without demanding dramatic changes or complicated routines. You don't need a gym, fancy equipment, or hours of commitment. All it asks is a few mindful minutes that become a gentle habit. Imagine standing by the kitchen window as the first rays of sunlight touch your face, feeling the warmth of the day before it even begins. You take that glass of water and slowly sip it, noticing how it slides down and awakens your senses. Maybe you pair it with a few stretches while the kettle boils, or while the coffee brews, using that time to rotate your shoulders, lift your arms, or roll your ankles. It's simple, yet profoundly effective, because it doesn't fight your natural rhythm, it works with it. You can even pair it with something pleasurable, watching birds outside, listening to soft music, or quietly thinking of one thing you're grateful for. These small touches transform what might have been an ordinary, sleepy morning into a ritual that nurtures both body and mind. Over time, those few minutes become a signal to your body that this is a new beginning, that energy is returning, that movement is welcomed. And the real magic happens because consistency compounds. Each day of mindful hydration, breathing, and gentle motion doesn't just prepare you for today, it sets the stage for the next day and the next. You begin to notice subtle shifts. The stiffness eases faster, your balance feels steadier, your energy feels more even. Your mind starts to feel clearer, more alert, less foggy. Even mundane tasks, standing from a chair, climbing a few steps, reaching for an item on a shelf, begin to feel easier, more effortless. It's like giving your body a daily dose of vitality that's invisible but tangible, a quiet reinforcement of its own strength. And the best part is the sense of control it brings. Rather than letting age dictate how your mornings feel, you take the lead, gently guiding your body into a state of readiness, alertness, and life. It's empowering to realize that a habit so simple, so small, can ripple through every aspect of your day, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities to feel stronger, lighter, and more capable. Over time, this ritual becomes less about effort and more about pleasure, a way to start each day fully awake, fully present, and fully alive. What makes this morning habit so powerful is the way it continually reminds you of something most people forget as they age, that life isn't measured just by the number of years, but by the quality of the moments you live. Each sip of water, each deep breath, each gentle stretch becomes a quiet signal to your body that it is seen, cared for, and capable of more than you might think. It's easy to underestimate these small actions, to dismiss them as trivial, but they carry a deeper message, that you still have control over how your day begins, and that in turn shapes everything that follows. Think about it. Mornings often set the tone for the entire day. If you wake stiff, slow, and disconnected from your body, that heaviness lingers, coloring your thoughts, your energy, and even your interactions. When you start with intention, when you take a few minutes to nurture yourself, your body and mind respond in kind. You feel lighter, more awake, more capable of meeting the day rather than being carried through it. And the beauty of this trick is that it's not just about physical energy, it's about emotional resilience as well. That sense of accomplishment, of having done something positive for yourself before the world even begins to demand anything, builds confidence and a quiet joy that stays with you. Over time, these small, consistent acts become anchors, tiny victories that remind you that age does not define limitation. They are the gentle proof that your body still listens, that it still responds, and that every day holds potential for renewal. You start to notice subtle changes. Your mind feels sharper, your mood stabilizes, your body feels more aligned. And with that alignment comes a sense of freedom, freedom from the heaviness of old habits, freedom from the resignation that often comes with age, freedom from the quiet fear that mornings are simply a prelude to fatigue. Instead, each morning becomes an invitation to reclaim energy, to nurture life, and to step into the day with intention. It's a small practice, yes, but its effects ripple outward, touching not just your health but your outlook, your confidence, and your sense of joy. Each day you honor this simple ritual. You reinforce the idea that you are capable of living fully, moving freely, and embracing the gift of time with gratitude and vitality. There's a quiet, almost magical satisfaction that comes from knowing you've taken a small action that can truly shape the rest of your life. When you practice this morning ritual consistently, it's as if you're sending a message to every part of your body, that you are present, aware, and ready to honor yourself. The act of drinking water, breathing deeply, and moving gently might seem simple, almost ordinary, but its effects compound in ways that surprise most people over 65. Each morning you commit to this habit, your body responds with gratitude, gradually restoring energy, easing stiffness, and sharpening focus. And it's not just physical. There's a mental and emotional clarity that comes from starting the day with intention. You begin to feel lighter, calmer, and more capable, like you've reclaimed a small but powerful piece of control over your life. It's a reminder that aging doesn't mean surrendering to fatigue, forgetfulness, or discomfort. It means learning how to work with your body and mind in harmony, giving them the tools to thrive even as time passes. You might notice small victories at first, standing a little straighter, bending a little easier, thinking a little clearer. Then those victories grow, like ripples spreading across a calm lake, influencing your whole day and eventually your weeks and months. Imagine the satisfaction of moving through your morning without struggle, of greeting each sunrise with a sense of readiness, of feeling like your body is on your side again instead of resisting you. That's the kind of confidence and joy that this simple trick can bring. And perhaps most importantly, it transforms the way you perceive aging. You begin to see it not as a slow decline, but as a journey where mindful choices can enhance every moment, allowing you to live fully, vibrantly, and independently for longer. The mornings that once felt heavy and tiring now hold promise and energy, acting as a foundation for healthier, more fulfilling days. Over time, this small act becomes part of who you are, a quiet ritual of self-care, renewal, and respect for your body and mind. It's a testament to the fact that longevity isn't just about years. It's about life lived with intention, awareness, and the simple commitment to start each day in a way that honors yourself, your health, and the precious time you have.